I think it was the most equal match of the first round. We were the seeded team, but on the betting websites, Greece was the favorite.
I think we can be satisfied from the game, except the break, because we hold the match struggle with the break and we couldn't find it to the end. But all chances that was available to take, and we take, so I'm satisfied.
Now is a great challenge playing against Chinese Taipei. If we go forward, then we're already far in the tournament, we are already settled with the table, and then anything can happen.
Thanks very much indeed, Nick. Yes, here's the Polish team. Mission impossible or mission quite possible if they get on their game early? That's really the story. These two Poles, as you've heard Ted Lerner saying earlier, very capable if they get it right on the day. They're going to have to get it right if they're going to beat Chinese Taipei. And remember something else that Ted has been saying, history is against Chinese Taipei. No team has ever successfully defended their title. So, well, the law of averages, there is every chance that we may see the upset here, and they've certainly got the start they wanted. Would you put any of your hard-earned cash on a Poland win?
Depending on the odds, I'm not sure what the bookmakers have it right now. It's probably not a bad bet. They're a very talented squad. It's all about, firstly, the break.
Right. Poland.
Okay. Then execution after that. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? It's not always as easy as that. But got to make balls in the break and have to execute and limit the self-inflicted wounds, the unforced errors. In other words, Nick, you have to play perfect pool.
And you've got to avoid dry breaks. Well, he would have wanted that wing ball down. Didn't go, didn't get a side pocket either. Now watch that black just rolling in, and that could have been a complete catastrophe. It could have obscured the one ball completely. Not a great start then for Poland, coming up dry. Let's see what Chinese Taipei can do with this. Pretty effortlessly cruised past their Q80 opponents in the first round, whereas Poland had a bit of a scrap against the Greeks that frankly could have gone either way. That might have just battle hardened them a little bit. That was always a tough take, so it would have been playing a two-way shot on that.
Yeah, the 2 and the 9 are stuck together there, it appears. So not even sure if it goes in any pocket.
No,
So
I think you're right, Ted. Yeah, they're going to have to develop that.
One thing that some people may not know, if you make a simultaneous hit on 2 balls, it's actually legal.
That's another head for the hills shot.
Yeah, there's no benefit in even potting the 1 unless you can figure out what to do with the 2. Ko Pin-yi, 2 years ago, won the World 9-ball championship, also won the World 10-ball championship. First time anyone had ever done that.
He's not going to be too bothered about that, as you say. The insurance policy is sitting there, the blue 2. But nevertheless, you would have expected him to put that one down, having gone for it.
This is Matusz Śniegacki. He's the one I was mentioning in the stand-up at the beginning that traveled to Taipei with several other Polish players to do some training and compete in some friendlies.
Is there any such thing as a friendly on a Taipei table? I mean, you know, I've not spent as much time there as you have, but I've spent enough time there to know that is a very intense school of pool in Chinese Taipei.
Oh yeah, and we were discussing this in the press room earlier with Alex Lely. Chinese Taipei is perhaps the greatest pool playing nation in the world. They produce, I mean, the Philippines produces amazing talent, and so does Chinese Taipei, but they produce more winners of big events out of Chinese Taipei. And that is the mark of success. Championships. Who wins the titles?
Nice play. Would have liked that to stop behind the pink 4 if it could have done, but Chang getting out of trouble. I always heard it explained to me, Ted, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but it was Filipino players play with the heart, the Chinese Taipei guys play with the head. Would that generalization be true?
Yes. And whereas both would play money games, the money game scene is much bigger in the Philippines. Whereas in Chinese Taipei, they would have a lot of tournaments, and they have leagues. And these days, there's no tournaments in the Philippines for some sad reason, but that's another story.
Extension call.
Well, we're having a real game of catch me if you can here on this first rack. Now, whenever you get involved in safety battles like this, the general rule of thumb is that the superior quality team will eventually come out on top. But at the moment, the Poles more than holding their own. This is another really nasty one for Ko to dig his way out of.
We talked about how Chinese Taipei likes to take on offensive, daring shots, but that is not the way to do it. Scratch.
Always going to happen. That was the risk attached to that shot. So ball in hand for the Poles. I tell you, if they can get ball in hand and run out here, that will give their self-belief a huge boost here, the Poles, that they've engaged in a tactical battle with Chinese Taipei and come out on top. And there's every likelihood that they can clean up here.
Always good to get on the board first. And as you say, to do it not just on a good break and a run out with a safety battle, and to beat the great Chinese Taipei players, that would be a massive boost of confidence. It's just a race to 7. This is nothing in pool terms. It goes by so quickly, and the match can get away from you in a heartbeat.
Use the full width of the pocket there, Snigoczki.
Just barely. Ball got knocked away. Wojciech Szewczak here. Can he see it properly?
Extension call.
Not sure.
Yeah.
That is a big error from his partner, Snigoczki.
Yeah, and he knows it as well. He's surveying the table, Snigoczki himself, and saying, oh dear.
Here comes the jump cue. This is not what they wanted.
I mean, they had total control of this table, and there is every danger that it slipped away. Huge shot here. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky.
Ball in hand.
Yeah, and Snigoczki was the first to just put his hand up there and just say, yeah, that's on me.
Start the clock, please.
So ball in hand. What a giveaway for Chinese Taipei. Well, he made the pot, but he couldn't keep the cue ball on the table off that jumper. And having done all the hard work, it seemed, Ted, the Poles have just tossed away this first rack.
Yeah, to get ball in hand and not convert, that hurts.
Especially the way the balls were spread beautifully around the table. Positional play, sealing their doom, and a giveaway as well from Poland. Chinese Taipei gifted that first rack in this race to 7. They'll take that. Well, he was put in a very, very difficult position here, Wojciech Szewczak, because of the loss of position from Maciej Snigoczki. That's where the damage was really done. He had to dig in, jack up, and just lost control of that cue ball, but that close to the rail as well. Always a high element of risk. And they paid the price.
And it was the position from Snigoczki that brought the jump cue out. It can happen on these TV tables. This is the first match of the day.
Cue right 2. Chinese
And
Taipei
this
to break.
cloth is
Leading one right
fast
to
and
them.
slick. And sometimes the players, they come from the practice table upstairs. It's a lot different up there. It's also a raison table, but the speed is different. And then with the adrenaline pumping of being on TV, you're playing the defending champions. There's all this money on the line. Millions watching. It's very hard to bring your game down to the level of the table, to slow it down a bit.
Well, he's got the wing ball down, but just keep an eye on that yellow and the black, the way they're tracking down the table at the moment. And has that pretty much taken out the one, or does it pass? There's the answer.
I believe it does pass.
Just about.
Yeah, and they can use that pocket, cheat the pocket a bit to make sure this one goes down.
Just enough. Should be able to get position on the 4 from this 2. A couple of tricky positional shots to play here for Chinese Taipei, but that'll come back down. Just got to get on the
And look at that.
yeah.
The perfect position.
I was just about to say, Ted, they've just got to make sure they can get on the right side of the table to deposit the 5. And as you said, they have got the perfect angle for that.
It's amazing to watch these guys in action. It's real artistry, what they do. Especially with that cue ball, how they maneuver the cue ball around the table and not just get it in zones, although sometimes they are playing for zones, but to get it in exact spots.
Delicately played. This rail shot should be comfortable for the man known as the Dragon, Cheng Lu-yung.
Both these players were, over the last 2 years, at one time or another, were ranked #1 in the world by the WPA, the World Pool Billiard Association.
Extension call.
That'll give you an idea of the quality of this side.
And it just magnifies the error from the Poles as well. Brought them to the table. They should have cleaned up that first rack. They'd done the hard work. They could have broken for the second rack, and who knows, instead, you let these guys on the table, you're asking for trouble. You're inviting problems, because Chinese Taipei will bury you if you give them the chance. They're looking comfortable, the defending champions. The law of averages says they will not repeat, but the form they're showing at the moment suggests there is every chance this partnership will be going back to another final. And who knows, they might be lifting the trophy again. And we can say that with confidence as early as the second round here. It's amazing how much they underachieved really prior to the last running of this competition. 4 semi-finals in a row, and then surprisingly a couple of dump outs early as well, including 2014, but eventually, and long overdue, picking up their first World Cup of Pool the last time this competition was staged. Will there be a back-to-back triumph for Chinese Taipei? Well, they're on course for the quarterfinals, that's for sure, leading Poland 2-0 in this race to 7, breaking well as we saw in the last rack. Let's see if that wing ball drops here, and it does. No, that's a bit unfortunate for him though, because that one is obscured.
Yeah, no shot on the 1 here.
Not an
Push
easy,
out call.
yeah, I was going to say not an easy escape either. So Chang will just push out. Poland can now take a look at the table and say, oh yes, we'll take that on, thank you very much. Or alternatively, they'll look at it and say, no thank you, you can come back.
Should be noted that the push out's the only shot where you don't have to hit the object ball.
That was a clever push out from Chang, because he's just dangled a bit of bait there. The ones you don't want are the ones that are just so obviously no, take it away. Now, because he can see so much of it, he might just be tempted here, Snigoczki, to have a look at it. And it's also in the back of your mind, you're also thinking, what are those guys thinking? They've played it to there, they've got a plan. And in the end, having deliberated, the Poles have said, no, we'll leave this one, thank you very much.
I think they noticed that perhaps Chinese Taipei really can't do anything specific with this one ball except hit it, so they might get lucky after this hit and maybe get an open shot.
Well, that's the worst possible scenario.
Ball in hand.
That is an open shot. Ball in hand. And a good move by Team Poland in not taking that on, because, again, they didn't see anything like in terms of a lockdown safety that Chinese Taipei could apply there. So it worked out well for Poland. Now, here's a scenario where you must convert.
And just remember what happened last time they had ball in hand, Ted. They lost position at a crucial time, lost the rack as a consequence. Won't get away with it. Was the kind of play that we saw against Greece when they were in that real ding-dong. You'll get away with it against the likes of Greece. You'll be punished brutally by Chinese Taipei. They've got to be flawless here. It's nicely played. Solid positional play here so far. Snigoczki. No problems that time. I wonder if he's still kicking himself for that positional shot he played in rack one. Any good pool player would have to just forget something like that, but this is where position is vital. This is the big shot of the rack. Now, where's that cue ball going to end up?
It's just about getting used to the table, and I'm sure he's forgotten about it. That'll help.
Certainly will. Just dragging it back as well, and it looks like the Poles will be on the board. Well, they had to slip the Poles, but it's not proved absolutely critical. They get an opportunity on their second ball in hand, and they convert it into their first rack of the match. Still a race to 7. Anything can happen in this one. The Poles very much in it, but the defending champions leading 2-1. We'll be back. Here's something you won't see too often. Chinese Taipei making a complete hash of a shot. When it happens, you better capitalize. Ball in hand for Poland. They blew it on the first attempt. They capitalized on the second attempt. They've got themselves a foothold in this match as a result. Chinese Taipei not firing on all cylinders just yet. Making this one interesting. Later on, it's seeds all the way. The afternoon session continues with China against Germany. Pick a winner out of that one. Russia, a dangerous dark horse against the number 2 seeds Austria. Then this evening, Philippines, Holland. You don't want to miss that one. Scotland, England. That's the old rivalry. And the USA against Spain as well. Safe to say, I think, There's
into break.
probably, of the
Trailing one right
12
to two.
teams that we're going to see in action today, there are 8 of those at least that would consider themselves legitimate possibilities of winning this title.
For sure. And just looking over all those teams, I mean, we are in for what is almost a guarantee to be the best World Cup of pool ever.
There are some outstanding teams whose campaign will end today. Now, the one's gone, the wing ball's gone. Now, he's got the cue ball and the black married up together, but he's got a good look at the blue 2. Now, is there something he can take on here, or is it just head for the hills and play the long game?
Yeah, that would be a very difficult pot.
Especially with getting position on the pink off the back end of it.
There's no way.
That would be a high-risk shot. I mean, he's got a good look at it, but it's a tough pot. Not impossible, but it's tough. But getting position off it for that 4, well, that's adding another layer of difficulty into it. Wouldn't be at all a surprise to see Śniegocki here just go for safety and go for distance, or is he feeling lucky? We'll find
Extension
out.
called.
He did the right thing there, and that's not a shot you want to rush. Oh, he didn't want that kiss.
Actually
No,
worked
he was
out
looking
okay.
for distance. He might just have got lucky there. But this isn't what he wanted. He's not having the best of times, is he, Śniegocki, at the moment? Just about got away with it there. Let's see what Chang can do. Both of these teams, the interesting thing is they're both capable of playing a much higher level. Where's that going to go? Is that going to stick its nose out, or is that green 6 in the way?
It's
Yeah,
covered.
there's the answer. That was the kind of shot you needed nerves of steel, because if you got that wrong, there was a wide open channel on the diagonal that Wojciech Szewczyk could have capitalized on. As it is, he'll now head for safety. And what about that? Now, how tight has he got that married up to the black? That's the key. If that is more or less welded, that is a superb shot. It's pretty good, whatever. Just how good? A little bit of air there between the two balls, but that is not a bad shot at all.
Takes out so many of the other options when you get it close to another ball like that.
Nicely played. And has he managed to find safety? No, that is sticking its nose out. Now then.
Yeah, they should be able to get this. And it's got a nice angle to bring it back up table for that pink 4.
Yeah, that's dropped, but hang on, where's that cue ball going to end up? Doesn't want to get himself into another eclipse.
Yeah, there.
Is that what he would have been aiming at?
No, it's
I didn't think so. He's having trouble with position here, Śniegocki. That's another tough shot he's given his partner. And Szewczyk has just had to say, well, got to play it safe here. Śniegocki, once again, his positional play not as good as it needs to be in a match against opponents of this quality. So Ko gets a collision with the 9.
That's works out nicely for Chinese Taipei. So we go back and forth. Safety game here. Can see partial of that 4-ball, so should be able to get a good safe in here.
That's got to sit behind that 7. And that's exactly what the Chinese Taipei players are looking at right now.
And from that angle, it doesn't go. But I've seen these guys take on shots like
yeah, I was
this.
going to say, for 9 teams out of 10, that doesn't go. Chinese Taipei are the 1 out of 10. As you say,
Extension called.
we've both seen them take on and make shots like this. It's an easy out, of course, but they're not thinking out.
He's
They're
got
thinking,
the short stick here.
Yeah.
Look at this. He's one of the best in the world at this.
There he is, jacking up with the jump stick. There it goes. There it goes. That's pool genius right there.
Now, look what the leave is, though. Very difficult shot on the 5, and this is just the guy you'd want at the table. He has zero fear of shots like this.
Oh, he's missed one. He's missed one again, Chang, but he either played a two-way shot, in which case he's achieved his objective, or he's just got extremely lucky. So this one goes on. Wasn't a walk in the park, 5-ball that at all. So you have to think that's exactly what he was thinking, putting an insurance policy onto that shot as well. And the taller of the ball poles, Chevchik. His cueing action hampered by the cue ball being on the rail, has done as good a job as he can do in those circumstances. Fascinating tactical battles we're seeing with the snooker play here, aren't we, in the safeties?
It's amazing how some of these snookers are actually just lucky, like that one. He's going to try to pot this.
Now, where's that cue ball going to go? Now, that is kept on going. That's not what he wanted. So the breakthrough comes, and it's Chinese Taipei who crack again. And the Poles can jump in here. I guess this is the kind of game that Poland would be quite happy to be playing. It's a bit dirty and scrappy and messy. Your Chinese Taipei like a bit of flow and rhythm and momentum. They're not getting it in this match so far.
And Poland will take some solace in the fact that they had to play this kind of scrappy match against Greece just to get here.
Yeah, they're used to this tooth and claw stuff.
Sometimes you start to believe that maybe it's meant to be. When you can win matches by scraping and clawing.
Certainly makes you battle hardened. And this man shooting here, Shevchik, knows what it takes to go deep in this competition. A beaten finalist in 2012. And it's Snigoczki that makes it level pegging here. The one-time runner-up in the World Pool Masters does his job. Now that is fascinating. Not for the first time in this match we've seen Chinese Taipei dragged into a safety battle and losing that battle to the Poles.
Good job by Team Poland to tie it up.
They don't look too stressed, do they? But it was interesting. We've talked about Maciej Snigoczki missing a bit of positional play. I think it was Chang on the left there that just lost control of the cue ball that set up the opportunity there for the Poles, and didn't they take it when the chance came to them? Just once again amplifying the importance
rack
of
5.
positional
Poland to
play.
break. 2 racks each.
It's not just about the pot, it's where you leave the cue ball. So Śniegocki will be looking to dispatch that red. And he'll take anything else that comes along. There goes the red. And that's worked out pretty well.
Perfect. Ball down. Shot on the 1. Good spread of the balls. You can't ask for anything more than that.
And transition from 1 to 2, not exactly taxing either. Just had to drag that back past the blue. Not enough. The pink is sitting mid-table. Position on the orange 5 is an important shot, given the proximity of the 7. So they've got to get this one right in terms of position. And that is pretty much perfect placement. And if this goes, and here's the big key, can Śniegocki keep position? That's pretty much exactly what he would have wanted to do. This rack is looking pretty comfortable now.
Yes, indeed. Things are working out quite well right now for Team Poland. It's been a real street fight so far, and they have been the equal of Chinese Taipei, and now a break and run would really bolster their confidence.
I think they're happy with this kind of match, Ted. I really do. I mean, not that Chinese Taipei are flat track bullies, far from it. I mean, if you give them a challenge, they'll rise up and meet it as well. But Poland are breaking pretty well. They've come from behind to be on the threshold of taking the lead. And whilst it's not been clean, not been particularly flashy. I mean, there was that wonderful pot on the jump shot from Chinese Taipei, but apart from that, it's been a very workmanlike match. And that'll suit Poland. Śniegocki delivers the 9. The Poles take the lead. Well, this is a rather tougher session for Chinese Taipei than their first outing, which was pretty comfortable, it has to be said, against the Q80s. And is the weight of history starting to loom here, Ted? As you've been saying all week, no team has ever defended their title.
That is correct, Nick. And here you see Poland. Some quarterfinal finishes there in 09, 10, and 11. Runners up in 12, so you can see they were rising up, and then it all fell apart. Out in round 1, out in round 2.
Hoping to avoid a trio of round 2 exits here. All you can really say is, so far so good.
Another break and run would put Poland in the driver's seat this match. Wing ball is down. Will they have a shot on the 1?
Well, they can see it. So whether they're going to have to play the long game again, which looks likely. The winners of this one will play Japan. We'll just take another look at that. There goes the wing ball. And you just hope for a decent roll of the balls. And there's a lot worse than that around, but I think he's going to have to look for the long grass here. Yeah, Snigotsky will take that 10 times out of 10. All right, Chang's having a look at this. Chang loves the short stick, as we know, but is this one of those that he's going? He is. He's going straight for it. Look at that. As soon as you line that up, you think that's made for the Chang jumper.
Man,
Extension
I don't know.
call.
It seems like, I don't know if he can go for this or he can just clip it.
He didn't take much time lining this up. He knew what he wanted.
This thing's gonna fly.
Where does everything end up? That's the key. Well, that's as good as you can expect. He's avoided giving the Poles a shot at that one ball.
Except with another jump shot.
Extension called.
Shevchik not showing much appetite for the jump shot here. Here he goes though. Get some action on this cue ball here. There we go.
Another pretty good leave. Yeah, this has been a tactical match from the beginning. That's a great shot.
That really is.
But
what a beauty. But he doesn't get anything off the back end of it. Super shot, but you've got to get position on that three. The pot is great. What's the cue ball doing? And there's the answer.
trying to get safe, but he leaves this on. This is a big chance now.
Well, it's a very, very big shot indeed for Maciej Snigotsky. And he's nailed it. And not only that, he's not always been solid with his positional play in this match, but you can't fault what he's just done there. Look where he's left this cue ball.
That shot is so difficult. And he got the position for his partner.
Oh,
And
fabulous shot, wasn't it?
They are off to the races. A chance for a 4-2 lead against the defending champions. This is ideal position for Poland.
Well, the run of the table looks pretty routine. Easy to sit here and say that, of course, but there's no reason at all why Poland should have any problems at all with what remains on the table. Taking their time. Shevchik working out his angles. They're absolutely right just to take their time with all this. No bonus points for rushing it. It's a long 7, but it's certainly not something that Snigotsky should be too concerned about. He just needs to make sure he leaves his partner a shot on the 8. Oh, and he was looking for position. And I wonder if a couple of those earlier misses, Ted, were just starting to play on his mind that he's got to get position right this time, and instead, having got his position taken care of, he's missed the ball.
Straight into the rail. Not a good look. So they go from the very real possibility of being up by 2, breaking well, and now it's going to be tied. It's amazing how the momentum can change so quickly in 9-ball. Just when you think you're flying high, you get brought down to earth in a, what we like to say, a New York second.
More to the point as well, Ted, this is the second rack in the match that Chinese Taipei have been gifted on a platter by the Poles. Oh, this is a costly one. That's 7, an absolute sickener. Somehow they don't deserve it, but they're level. Chinese Taipei 3-3. Fascinating match this, but yeah, he's kicking himself. They're going to take a little walk here. They're going to take a timeout, just break the spell a little bit. I think Maciusz Śnigoczki in particular needs just to clear his head. That miss on the 7 has turned this match on its head. 3-3. Coverage continues in just a couple of moments. Well, that has stopped Poland from having a 4-2 lead here, and it could have been even better for the Poles if they'd taken all their chances. This could so easily be 5-1. Instead, this match is delicately balanced at 3-3, and it's Chinese Taipei who'll be breaking off in rack 7. Fascinating stuff, this one. China, Germany pick a winner from there. The dangerous dark horse Russia against the number 2 seed Austria, completing the afternoon session. Then tonight, Philippines and the Netherlands. A clash of real powerhouses. Scotland versus England, and the United States and Spain. Spain, who staggered through, but who are certainly capable of pulling off a few surprises. Some terrific matches to look forward to here on day 4 when we conclude the second round. And then over the weekend, quarterfinals. And on Sunday, semis in the afternoon and the final in the evening. Here's Chang Yu-lung breaking off here in rack 7, looking to dunk up blue 2 down. He's done that. The 1's rattling around. Doesn't want that 3 coming over and blocking it, and wouldn't you know it.
That was an unfortunate roll there for Chinese Taipei.
That was set up perfectly, except for about the last second of the rack when the red 3 rolled in and said, I'm going to have some fun. There it is, the 1's nicely placed. Just look who's come to spoil the party.
Haven't really seen these guys unleashed yet. So a good jump shot earlier from Ko Pin-yi. Chang Yu-lung been rather quiet.
Ted, they could be 5-1 down. I mean, it's the Poles have let him in twice.
Yes. So Chinese Taipei certainly not as sharp when in 2015 they marched all the way to the title. At that point, this man right here, Ko Pin-yi,
Extension called.
had just come from winning the World 9-ball Championship in Doha the week before. So he came here to London with a pocket full of money, the world title, and he was just flying high with confidence. I believe that in that same tournament that Chang Yu-lung was a semi-finalist, so they were clearly at the top of their game at that moment.
Push out called.
Yeah, they'd gone through all the permutations there, these two, before settling on the push out. Well, there is, of course, a huge sand trap sitting on that table right now. You connect with the 1 wrong, you're going in. Scratch.
To go up table and back up, but anything can happen as well.
Let's see how you avoid the scratch if you do hit that. Well, they can toss this straight back, the Poles. They don't have to take this on. And I wonder what they had in mind. That's the interesting thing with the psychology of the push out. They wouldn't have just done that and hoped for the best. They would have a plan. But here, it's all about the bait, isn't it? Chinese Taipei have
Set up,
thrown a bit
please.
of bait out there, and the Poles were very, very tempted, but in the end have tossed it back. So whatever they had in mind will now be revealed. The conversation continues. I mean, those jaws are just looming. You can't play this straight. Surely you've got to go off that top rail. Let's see.
He might bring it off the rail and try to pot it up in the top right corner.
Is that what he's doing? Look at that, Ted. You called it. Well, that's not worked out.
That's the kind of shot that when they won the World Cup of Pool 2015, they might have made.
They're not making very many shots.
Yeah.
You know, whoever's clipping the highlight reel together for this match, they've been sitting around twiddling their thumbs. Oh, we had that one super jump shot from Chang, I think. That was about it.
Went a little too far. He wanted that to slow down. Now, we might be looking at a 3-8 or, yeah. Now he's going to cut it in.
You know, I don't want to be
Extension
pointing the
call.
fingers too much at Maciusz Śnigoczki here, Ted, but that's got to be 3 or 4 times his
Extension
positional
call,
play
please.
has left a little bit to be desired.
Yeah, he hasn't figured out the speed of the table.
So Shevchik has got to dig his partner out of a little hole again. Now, where's the
Look
cue
out.
ball going to go? It's collided with the 7, but he'll take it.
That worked out quite well.
That did. That was a little bonus in the end.
Well, like you say, it's this man right here who's having trouble with the speed.
Delicately played, nicely on for the 6 as well. But with the Poles, I think now we've learned you take nothing for granted. They've had control of a pretty easy looking table twice and given it up. So Śnigoczki has got to make sure his partner's got something to shoot at with the next ball, the 7, and it's his positional play that has left a little bit to be desired, and he's just about got away with that.
Yeah.
But only just.
He is walking on the high wire.
You know, for all that we're not seeing razzle dazzle 9-ball here, Paul, it's a match you can't take your eyes off, is it? It's gripping stuff.
It's a similar shot to what he missed last time.
Oh, he didn't need you to say that.
That was nicely done. Let the arm out a bit, so this will put Poland up by 1. There you go.
Yeah, very well cleared. 4-3 they lead. The bad news for Chinese Taipei is that they're losing. The good news is that Poland have gifted them a couple of racks. It is no exaggeration to say we could be looking at 6-1 here, and we should be looking at 6-1. As it is, they're in it, but they're not, as you've said, Ted. They're not quite at the party at the moment, Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, they definitely do not have that spark that we remember from 2015 when they steamrolled through the field to win this event for the first time. Poland, on the other hand, content to slug it out in the trenches.
McHugh, rack 8. Poland to break, leading 4 racks to 3.
Śniegocki. The wing ball's been going down pretty consistently for all the players. Let's hope that's not a jinx. There it goes again. Now, how's this all going to line up? Where's that black going? Hello.
Seems like every time, just at the last second, the 1 ball gets covered or the 2 ball gets covered.
Yep, looking good here, looking good. No sign of the black ball, and then, oh, here's the late arrival. You're thinking it's great, you're thinking it's wonderful, and now it's not so good. And Shevchik saying, yeah, thank you.
We'll be looking at a push out here, probably.
Push out call.
Now that's an interesting one. Sometimes you look at the push out and you think there's no decision to be made, but they'll have a look at this, a long look. Now whether they decide to take it is another matter, but that was a clever little push out there from Poland, because they might just be tempted by this.
Set the clock, please.
Is that an indication of where they're feeling mentally at the moment? There's not an awful lot of confidence flowing from Chinese Taipei. I mean, when they're fired up, they feel they can take anything on at the moment. And I just wonder if they're a little bit low on confidence, the Chinese Taipei pair. It's, I mean, they're certainly not out of it. Obviously, 4-3. It's only going to take one moment to turn this match on its head, but it's not been impressive through the first 7 racks. It could have been so much better for these two.
Well, they can definitely see the 1 ball. It looks like they're, you know, just going to play a safety.
That's the thing with this one. There's more than one option here. What's he going to do? Got to get safe.
I think you're right, Nick. It's amazing when you can see a full ball like that and Chinese Taipei decides not to take it on. Might be an indication that they're lacking in a bit of confidence. He's gonna perhaps try to kick this in the side pocket.
Extension called.
Yeah, Chang looking to see if the bank is open, perhaps. Let's have a look. He wasn't looking for the bank shot. He was looking for the snooker, and he got it.
Brilliant shot.
It really was.
Because he was able to get that cue ball behind the 9.
Now the good news for Śniegocki is there's some hidey holes on this table if he can get out of this. Every expectation he'll get a reasonable bit of luck. Let's see. First he's got to make contact, and then now is that gonna pass? Is that gonna thread? That's close. We'd have to wait for the right angle on this, but the way Ko is lining this up, he's having a look.
No, but he can also play safe.
It's so tight,
Right
isn't it? He's
there.
had to play safe instead.
Right there. Just use that 7 as a blocker. What's good about that save is that the one ball is out in the middle, which makes it harder to hit because you can't use a rail to get to it.
Well, the Poles have done all right in these tactical safety battles thus far, but this is a real pair of handcuffs that Shevchik's been given here off 2 rails.
That was a good
He
hit.
made contact, but where's it all going to end up? And that's not good.
When that object ball, after a safety's closer to a rail, you see the players use the rails to kick it out. They have a lot more control over what they're doing. Here, Shevchik leaves it wide open. So now, we haven't seen too much of the flow from Chinese Taipei. This is a chance to get into that flow.
I was just thinking, Ted, as you said that, here's Ko now coming up. I mean, one of the most flamboyant players of shots there is in the world of pool. He hasn't played a memorable shot in this match yet. Here we are in the 8th rack.
Except for that jump shot.
Was that him? I thought that was Chang,
Yeah,
but
no,
you may well be right.
That was Ko.
I'll be prepared to stand corrected on that one. Yeah, that was a bit special. That wasn't.
I believe that red
Yeah.
3 does pass,
Yeah.
and this will afford them position for the pink 4.
Yes, he's just got away with this, hasn't he? Needed the deftest of touches there from Chang.
No team able to get any kind of advantage. It's just been a slog.
You wouldn't pick a winner from here with any confidence at all, would you, Ted?
No. No, very hard to tell who is. I mean, there's the momentum in this match is just up for grabs.
In what is effectively now going to be a race to 3. Well, I suppose the situation slightly favors Chinese Taipei in that they are going to be breaking, and they are breaking well. All the teams are breaking pretty well. The wing ball going down consistently, but they're back on level terms. 4-4. And the key there was winning that safety battle. Once they'd done that, they took their time, made sure they cleaned up. And this has been a tough old battle for the #1 seeds.
Third tie of the match.
Well, eventually they had to crack the poles, and they did here. Shevchik, who's played a couple of beautifully weighted defensive shots, found wanting on that occasion. Well, he knew it. The way the two of them went and sat down there, I think they knew, oh, we better get comfortable here. These guys are going to roll a few balls in. And that's exactly what they
Thank
did.
you, rack 9. Chinese Taipei to break.
So Ko,
4 racks each.
Ko will break. Rack 9, dead level, 4 apiece. Who's going to break for the finish line?
They've been stuck in the muck and mire. They've just, when these guys get going, Chinese Taipei, they're spectacular to watch. But we haven't seen any of that today.
Wing ball down, 1 in the side.
Oh, there. Finally, the ball kicks into place. The 2 ball stopped by the 4, and now a shot. The table is open.
For the first time in a long time off the break.
So at this point, they are looking at the whole pattern. Now, you notice the orange 5 and the black 8 together on the rail. So let's see how they deal with that one.
Kiss off the 9 ball there. Yeah, having another little look at that 5-8 situation.
Extension call.
Yeah, Ko taking his time here, just a little glance over his shoulder to check that he's got a few seconds. He's in no rush at all. This is a big, big shot at 4-all in the match.
Look at that.
And just look at what he did with that. I mean, that is a stunning shot, Ted.
Pot the 3, break up the 5, knock it out away from the rail. So when you get to it, you'll have a shot and a position on the 4. That's a flash of brilliance.
Yep, this table has really opened up now. And Chinese Taipei are going to claw and scratch their way back into a lead here.
Little by little, Chinese Taipei getting in stroke.
Oh,
Except
you spoke too soon. Can you believe that?
who would think? I mean, you just hard to imagine he would miss that.
I mean, I'm staggered, Ted. I wasn't even looking at the shot. I was looking at where they go next, looking at the position. Can you believe that? Absolutely extraordinary miss from Ko.
Was that me? Is that
It's you.
commentator's curse?
It's you. It's 100% on you, that is. We replay that. We'll hear you talking about how well they're playing. But that's absolutely stunning. I mean, we've seen some bad misses, but in the context of the match, the quality of the player and the degree of difficulty of that shot, that is probably the miss of the tournament. Poland have stolen this one. They lead it 5-4. I don't think they can quite believe what's just happened. Amazing turnaround here. Ko Ping-yi, the Prince of Pool, one of the most gifted pool players on the planet, but he is human. That would have given Chinese Taipei the lead. He will get that shot 999 times out of 1,000. He couldn't believe it. Poland couldn't believe it. And it was Maciej Śligoczki that profited. Poland jumping in front here in what has been a fascinating duel. China versus Germany to come. That's going to be a good one. Russia looking to upset Austria, who weren't exactly overly impressive in their first round win. Tonight, Philippines, Netherlands, Scotland, England, USA, Spain. 3 good ones tonight as well. I don't need to say good ones to look forward to. Every match from here on in is a good one.
Yes, indeed. And we've got a good one here. Just when Chinese Taipei looked like they were going to get on a roll.
Miss of the tournament, that's what I said. Would you agree with that?
Could be. It's definitely up there. That was surprising. I mean, the level of play that he normally exhibits is surreal, Ko. And for him to miss that in a situation like that, pressure situation, very surprising. But it does happen.
He's always in danger of a scratch. It's hung on, but hang on. Here comes the green 6. And I think it might just have done enough work for them to be able to see the 2, but again, it's another one of those weird breaks for the Poles. You know, they've consistently got balls down. They got the wing ball, they got the 1, but again, how many times have Poland surveyed the table and said, yeah, that's a nice easy run out for us? It doesn't seem to have happened at all. And here's another strange one. Does that sneak past the 8? Is he just going to play
I don't
a
think so.
defensive shot? No, I don't.
It actually actually goes in the side, I think. But that's fraught with danger. Yep.
Well, he went for it.
Nicely done. Not easy to hit a long shot up the rail like that. Reverse cut into the side. Very nice.
Got something to work with on the 3. Shevchik, this is not automatic, far from it. But you know what, if he can play this right, if he can pop this ball and give his partner position on the 5, Poland will be on the hill.
Extension called.
It's a huge shot, this, massive. Well, there's all sorts of options open to him here, Ted. Which one is Wojciech Szewczyk going to take? That was his first choice, and I think he's stuck with it. There is a degree of difficulty in this shot, though. Ooh. That's a pretty calamitous shot, you know.
Yeah, always very tough to get a ball on the side.
I think what will disappoint him the most is that it was a bad miss. That was way off.
Now here's a very good chance here to tie. This is almost a gimme, guarantee.
Well, I think we can guarantee he won't miss a shot like that again, Kopin. It's Szewczyk that's got to sit and stew on that 3 ball. We're going 5-5. Yeah, it's easy to just be wise after the event here. Should he have gone long with that 3 ball, Szewczyk? He certainly missed to the side very badly. All about shot selection, isn't it? It's making sure you're doing the right thing with the degree of difficulty, the degree of risk, and the benefit. I mean, it was the worst of all scenarios there for Poland, that outcome. And it means that Chang can't level this match at 5 apiece. So another rack where we've got a big talking point. This time it's Wojciech Szewczyk in the frame. And the decision he made on that 3 ball, I wonder if he would do it differently if he could do it all over again.
It's all personal preference sometimes when you've got many choices, and he didn't even get close there. So Chinese Taipei gets the layout in their favor. They clear the balls. 5-5 now. It's just a race to 2. So whoever gets the 7 moves on to the quarterfinals here at the World Cup of Pool.
Well, it's been a weird match in that we've had a minimum of dry breaks. Everybody seems to be getting balls down, but very rare that we've had a good run of balls on the table off the break. Poland, the latest victims of that. The last time Chinese Taipei broke, they got a good look at the table. They'll be hoping for more of the same here. Down goes the wing ball and the 1 ball as well. Now the 2's bouncing around here, there, and everywhere, and he'll take that. He'll take that.
Oh yeah. Now they have to convert. No mistake here, because this is a gift. This is wide open.
Oh, I'll be stunned if they mess up here, Ted. I mean, this is routine for these guys. You know, you got a pink on the rail, but I mean, it's hardly going to cause a problem, is it? You know, the 6 is going to pass. You got to get position on the 3. I mean, There's really nothing there that's not for this level of player.
Have to keep 1 foot on the floor. I will say this about Chinese Taipei, at least they haven't been getting frustrated. They're smiling. It's been very difficult. They have not been in stroke at all. There was just a brief period in the last rack, and then a couple racks ago, which they ended up gifting to Poland.
But against that, the other side of that, Ted, is the Poles have blown 2 racks. They could be planning for tomorrow's quarterfinal here, Poland, if they played a cleaner game. Critical mistakes from them. And it looks like the defending champions are just going to stagger to the hill first. 1 good break away from claiming a place in the last 8. No, same ball, same pocket, different player. Chang trying to deal with that troublesome 8 ball. No problem at all. And Ko has had his calamity for the match. He won't have another one. Chinese Taipei on the hill. It's been an arduous journey to get there, but they have finally arrived. But they won't be ready to exhale just yet, and these guys must be stewing on the 2 or 3 opportunities that they've had and that they've let slip.
Yes, they had many chances to put their opponents away, and they've had to give up the table. Some poor potting, poor shot selection, but you know, they've maintained the hard-nosed approach. The Poles, they've been scrappy, fighting it out.
The problem they've got is they can't fight it out from in their seats, and that's where they're stuck.
At this point, that is correct. This guy, one of the best breakers in the game.
It only needs 1 good break for Chinese Taipei to start planning for tomorrow's quarterfinal. They've been consistently nailing the wing ball and the yellow 1 ball. Here's Ko, getting both once again. Now, there is a glimmer of hope here for Poland, because the 2 has gone, the 3 is blocked by the 5. That 5 ball has kept Poland in this match.
Push out called.
Push out.
Well, it's an interesting push out. Well, they'll do well to just take their time evaluating this, the Poles. This is no time for a wrong decision. Got to weigh everything up. And quite rightly, an extended conversation going on here. Would you take it on, Ted, or would you toss it back? Well, they're slinging it back. So you're off the hook. Well, you don't have to answer.
There's really not any of it to see except on a kick.
And when you kick, you lose control. There's no telling where things could end up. Well, whatever he had in mind with his push, let's see if he can execute. Has he got?
He might try to make it.
Yeah, has he got something magical lined up here? No, he's playing for safety, and he hasn't got it.
He hasn't got it. I was just thinking, because we haven't seen that daring style of pool that he is known for Chang in this match at all. But I've seen him on numerous occasions in like the World 9-Ball Championship and in 2015 here
Extension call.
at the World Cup of Pool. He's just plays shots from another universe.
It's a good point, Ted. You know, we've been giving them the big build-up. Anybody watching this Chinese Taipei pair for the first time today, they're saying to themselves, what's all the fuss about these guys? They're capable, they're nothing special, and that really has summed up the match for them. They are so much better than this. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Now, he might have got himself
good leave.
A good leave, yes. That's the good news, and he deserved that.
That's true, Nick. Chinese Taipei has been nothing special. They have not played well.
And yet they're still on the hill. And Poland one mistake away from bowing out. Didn't happen there. Lots of distance between cue ball and object ball.
Extension call.
Object ball pretty tight against the bottom rail here as we're looking. And the safety battle, you would think, is going to carry on here for a little while. And Poland have held their own in these safety battles. They haven't won them all. They certainly haven't been overwhelmed by the superior defensive play of Chinese Taipei. Let's see what Ko has managed to conjure up here. And again, he's left a clean look at the ball. Whether that's actually going to go anywhere is another matter, but he would have wanted, you would have thought, to have obscured the 3-ball.
Well, he can make this. Ball's going to travel. Cue ball would come back down for the 4.
Oh, he's weighing it up here. Shevchik, he's weighing it up. He fancies this. He fancies this. No, he doesn't.
He fancies safety.
Yeah, he fancies the safety. That's what he had lined up.
I mean, it's at this point too much risk to try to pot halfway across the table into the side pocket,
but he knew exactly the defensive shot he was going to play there. That's what confused me, Ted. I must admit, with the way he was bouncing on the table there, I thought, hello, he's going to have a go here, but he'd seen the safety shot that he liked. So the battle goes on. Who's going to crack first? Extensions in this match gone. So once you hear those beeps, you better play a shot. And that is the kind of shot that you'd want an extension on, because this is a real headache. That face said it all.
oh, now things have gotten real serious for Poland.
Yeah.
One mistake.
And keep an eye on that clock. They can't hang around with this. Getting out of it's bad enough. Getting safe. Does he get lucky? Does he get lucky? I don't think he does.
He was hoping that the cue ball would kick the red 3 in the side. You see the way he was looking there, hoping for a bit of luck, but not to be.
Is that the last act for the Polish partnership in this second round match?
Well, whoever goes on to win this, I can tell you that for the foreseeable future, they'll be riding under the radar. Nothing special out of either team today. It's been tough from the opening break shot for both teams. I don't know, Nick, how the odds makers do their magic, but you know, Chinese Taipei was the favorite to repeat when this event started, but after these performances, you know, against Kuwait, they didn't look that great. They certainly haven't looked their winning selves here today. You can't really make them the favorites.
No. But they're going to be in the final 8, having not played particularly well. And we know they're capable of levels better than this. I think the thing that we're all going to remember from this match is that miss on the 8 from Ko.
Yeah, they are capable. I just haven't seen that spark, that certain something special that Ko had 2 years ago.
This has been workmanlike, and it's been laced with good fortune as well. As I've said before, Ted, there were at least 2 of those early racks that Poland just tossed straight into Chinese Taipei's lap. If they'd hung on to them, we wouldn't even be talking about this match anymore. It would be done and dusted. As it is, it's about to be done and dusted. Chinese Taipei 9-ball away from a place in the quarterfinals here at the World Cup of Pool. And there it is. It wasn't clever, it wasn't special. It was laced with errors and difficulties, but the defending champions and the #1 seeds have got through, and I think relief is the overwhelming emotion for those two right now. They've survived a scare.